Well, good morning, folks. Well, I made up some popcorn balls and I thought I would take and wrap these things up. Excuse me. Got quite a lot of snow up here in the last few days. Getting my exercise with that snowblower. Yeah. Maybe I'll get a break for a couple of days. I gotta go to Burlington this coming week, or this week. Take Sonny, my boy, to get his shot in his eye. Yeah, he's got, for the last couple of years, they've been putting in some kind of steroids in his eyeball. And once they put that needle in his eye, he can't drive back home, so I take him down once a month to get his shot. Better him than me. He said it doesn't hurt, but I don't know, something about that needle coming right to your eyeball, and you say, holy, not me. Yeah. Whew. Making these things is kind of time consuming, but give me something to do. And I put my label on them. Papa T's popcorn. Yummy. Didn't make a lot of them. I didn't have that much molasses. So I had enough to do a bunch of them here. Enough to get a taste. Really all I wanted anyway. Usually give them away. People anyway. I don't usually eat much of them myself. If I had a little bit more of that molasses, I could have probably covered more of these. You know, you got to get this to the, first you get it up to, what is it, 234. Then I add some cream of tartar and some baking soda. And you need to get your temperature up around 250, 260 so they stick together. Otherwise, they're not going to stick for crap, man. You're just wasting your time. I know that from experience. Well, you can get 2 balls into one bag. How about that? As long as the balls aren't too fat. If you got fat balls, they ain't gonna fit. These balls are just right. Hey, there. Got her in there. Yeah, the temperature's been in the teens and 20s, so that's typical Vermont, you know, this time of year. Our cold will stay here until, about the middle of April. Then it'll start warming up. You start getting a few showers. But it can make for a long winter without sunshine. When you see a day that the sun's out, that's when you want to jump in your car and take a ride. Because they're far and in between. Yep. Let me see if this fat boy will fit in there. Oh yeah. Got her in there. Give it a little squeeze. That takes the air out of them. True with anything I put in this stuff. I always squeeze the air out. I got a vacuum sealer, but it's a pain in the ass to use it. Plus, I don't know if you've seen the price of them bags. My goodness gracious. I have been able to use these with a sealer, and those seal up pretty good. I got one of those kitchen sealers. But these ain't going to last long enough for me to have to worry about too much. I'm sure everybody will just eat them up. Hopefully there's not many seeds in them, because seeds aren't good for your teeth. My mother's always had lots of seeds in them. I don't know why, but boy, those things were tasty. Okay, who's next? How about you, little Bolly? You fit in here along with the fat one, I think. And this one. Need more bags. You know what? I didn't put a label on that one. How are they going to know what they are if I don't put the label on? There. I use one of those Canon, got the big ink wells on them, and then I buy bulk ink, and I got a syringe, and I just keep refilling them with ink, and of course you have to look around to get some of the quality inks. You don't want used stuff. It's like water. And then I got one of them really big Canons that does I think 16-inch photos or bigger. I don't know, I forget. But for portraits and stuff, but that thing takes about 10 cartridges. And to replace those all, you know, it's about $160. So, and the thing about those printers, if you don't use them, you lose them. Your ink will dry out. And then you got to go through all that cleaning stage. And then when you do that, you got to use up about 2/3 of the ink. So those Canon printers are nice, but I think they're for the rich boys. But I think I've got 300 or 400 Vermont landscape scenes that sometimes I sell them at a yard sale or something, and you don't sell many, but once in a while they pick it up and I sell enough so I can get some more ink. Then I go make some more. Yep. I used to have a whittler named John the Whittler. He used to sell his stuff up in the Notch. You know, he carved bears and sheep and just about anything you can think of. Chains it all locked together out of one piece. And he'd go up there with his car and his banjo, and he'd sit out there during fall foliage and play his tunes, and he'd sell all of his stuff. Well, that fella was a good businessman. He'd been dead for 30, 40 years, but I can always remember him playing that banjo up there. And he could play, too. Yeah. And his work was excelente. You know, there's quite a skill to that carving. You know, you got a lot of people up here that carve with chainsaws. You know, they do bears and eagles, and there's some in Stowe that do it. And, well, I don't know if I could do that. I'd cut the bear's head off on the first pass, and that'd start all over. There's a biggie, I don't know. Can we squeeze a little one in beside her? We did. Ugh. I don't want to break my balls. There. And then put my label on that one. And it looks like we got enough for one more bag full. they're both kind of fat, so I don't know if they're both going to fit in there. I save all the small pieces in the bottom of the big pan. I got this big pan that I use to put all the popcorn in. I also use this to raise mushrooms in. You have to sanitize it each time you use it though. And yeah, you just put popcorn in and pour that molasses over it. And you gotta watch your fingers though. That stuff is hot. It will burn. And I know that because I burnt that finger right there this morning. I said, well, that's cool enough. I'll stick my hand in there. But when you're putting these balls together, if you take some margarine and rub it on your hands, you can squeeze it together and that popcorn ain't going to stick to your hands. Yeah. Now, you can take regular and do this with just Karo syrup, too, to make sugar ones. Or you could add flavors in it, you know, like those flavorings I got there from, I forgot who, yeah, I don't remember who, but blue raspberry, chocolate, caramel. Yeah, you can do all of that. It's a little bit different process, but different flavors. And there we have a whole tray full of popcorn balls. There. Well, I appreciate you coming along. I need somebody to talk to, so I thought I'd turn you on and give you a chat. See you next time.